You wouldn't believe what I'm about to tell you and what we're about to speak about a certain type of way, it is going on, right? How about if I told you, listen to this. You gotta look at the title of this one. The title of what I'm saying right now, right? And a person would think what I'm about to speak about is kind of funny, but I think it's something very serious, a certain type of way. And listen to the things I'm already speaking about, and then you think about how serious what I'm saying is. Now, there's a lot of scumbag guys through time that did certain things, and then when they have this certain type of moment to themselves, that they do funny things a certain type of way. So let me just tell you something, and this is even for the Empress, and think about this. There's a guy that, listen to this. There's a guy that made an oath to Empress, and he made a magical oath, but he wants to be a form of a god when it comes to a certain Empress a certain type of way, right? But he doesn't care for what goes on in life because he's like the strong arm of of an Empress. So she comes and it's like she pulls out her pimple out of herself a certain type of way. Now, see, when she wants value, she pulls out value. She has to go see the value because she can't pull out value. But when she wants to get rid of her pimple, she pulls out her pimple out of her a certain type of way at a time for she could air out a certain type of way, and then she tries to warn people of what's going on with her habitation. So one day, say for instance, a man's walking around, like say me, I'm walking around, I see this chick, and I'm like, yo, she's real nice, but I'm not gonna deal with her because something about her makes me think a little feel funny about her. But then there's a guy that's around a certain type of way, right? So every time, you remember, the real empress, she did a magical oath for somebody. So the guy is like the strong one. So he's supposed to handle situations for her. But what he really did is because he wanted to absorb her power and her magic, and kill her. And he wanted to kill her and rape her at the same time. But he wanted somebody like to save his life. But it's not save his life. It's just that he's scared of anybody finding out what he did, how he tried to manipulate her. So he's going after her family, and he's trying to kill her and kill the others just like her because he's trying to manipulate the physical reality. So what he did, he drinks coffee and smokes cigarettes and drinks coffee all day because he's trying to absorb her magic, and he's trying to make her sick from within. So every time she pulls him out, she is like she 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 is like if he goes back inside her system, it's like a sickness. So she's retaking in a sickness at a time. So he does it so much that he takes up all her time. So she doesn't have no in between time. So any in between time is just like a person's death or the reality of them not living in existence and causing the death or the distinction or demoralizing in a or the murder of the individual because the guy's like a strong arm. So one day, a man is like, he's around. He's like, yo, what's going on? He keeps hearing a voice. Like, what the fuck is this voice that I'm hearing? But the guy know he's not crazy because he doesn't hear the voice at other places. All right. So he says, yo, I don't go other places and hear the voice, but I keep hearing this shit. So something must be wrong with certain type of way. So the guy, he doesn't say nothing. So one day, he's making moves for himself, but the girl is jealous of what the guy's do, like what a man's doing. So she's using another guy because she done offended the guy's girlfriend and the other empress because he was like a higher enlightenment and a higher jewel of the reality, and then she done offended a family, and then the guy that she's watching, like say for instance it was me, say the guy she was watching could identify her and knows the crime that she committed, so she's trying to cover it up because she wants to kill everybody else that a man loved, and then on top of it she's trying to get rid of all the other empresses because she's actually like the sickness on the planet, and she's just trying to get away with what certain things that happen dealing with a person's habitation. But she killed another guy and made the other guy she killed make an oath. She made the guy take an oath, killed him, and that was a kid of another empress. And then on top of it, her son is like she be trying to make him do identity to become his replacement. So at times when she goes home with certain guys, or she goes home with certain girls and then shows them magic and tries to convince them. So when they're expecting to see the other empress's son, she pulls out the other guy that's like the strong arm, this one that's getting her sick, and then when that's killed everybody, and then he's raping the girls. But he's doing it in such a way that he's trying to manipulate the physical reality, and then on top of it, the spirit is literally holding the situation down a certain type of way, and then causing a person not to realize, and then end up in entrapment. But the energies, there's different energies that don't realize what's going on, but the guy's trying to get away with crimes and acts and murders, and he was already a predicate rapist. So, say the guy, for instance, the other guy's like me, and then the Empress wants to holler at me, but she can't do what she's doing to the other guy. And say the other guy was in another apartment or whatever, or part. She can't do what she's doing. She can't do what she's doing with the other guy to me because I'm her real head. But another individual that did a fucked up oath for greed and gluttony and for sexual activity, she's doing it too. And on top of it, it's like they're compatible because she's getting people sick and raped. The girl would be getting people sick. She be getting people sick and raped, and then next thing you know, she's literally manipulating the physical reality because remember the guy is trying to kill her also because he did some scumbag things. So at times he's not conscious, he's not thinking about the things that he did. So he's trying to get away with it, and it's a white guy. So this guy is like a Caucasian white guy. Now another guy who's ever doing this. And then next thing you know, the Empress, she's nervous because the other guy, say like for me, for instance, the other guy, me, would be able to identify and know her regimen, like her rap sheet, so she doesn't want an individual to see her a certain type of way at a time because a man would be like, yo, this, that, that's a criminal bitch, let me see, a man would naturally know, right? So, she hides in the room, in another room, she tries to make, like, disturbing the guy's consciousness. But the guy been trying to get rid of us for so long. But the other guy, he must know a form of like probably some Reiki element magic or something that's causing her to return a certain type of way because he's a part of the other white guy. The other white guy you want to be thinking about, he's a part of deterioration. He's deteriorating the reality and he's manipulating the physical. So he's not looking like he's deteriorating the reality. So he's running around with people. And then he's raping girls when he gets a chance because, say the girl, she goes out sometimes. So he has set dates at certain times when he goes out, and then he actually rapes girls, and then, and then they don't know the difference. And then on top of it, he's spreading a sickness because all the guy do all day is smoke cigarettes and drink coffee. So remember, coffee to white anatomy is a real poison. If you really do a DNA test, and if you really know science when it comes to chemistry, that's a literal poison, especially if you're drinking black or brown coffee beans and you have white anatomy. That's a real poison to one's anatomy. So it's causing sickness on purpose. So it's like a person having AIDS. Say for instance, it's like a person that has AIDS somewhere, and then next thing you know, is passing it a certain type of way, and people doesn't know how it's accumulating through time. But he's manipulating the physical reality because he tries to look a certain type of way for another individual wouldn't realize, but he's doing some type of element science. But a man like me would know the difference of if a man's seeing what's going on in a certain type of way, right? So the guy he's thinking, he doesn't know the difference sometimes, so he's thinking a guy's like, a man like me, say he thought I was like a scumbag like this, the guy that he is. But I'm a more righteous man, an upright, a justful man, because the reason of natural habitation, that's not so that wouldn't let certain things like that get away, because a person would have to literally put that situation away, because I'm not going to risk my life for something. I don't know how long that something like that been happening. So just think about the scenario it's like a movie, but a real scenario, but think about it like a real movie. Like, listen to this. So the guy, she's playing it's like a martial art Asian movie. She's playing a rabbit out the hat, so she's pulling out her sickness every now and then she goes on her little date, and then he sobs around, and he's trying to get her attention at times because, he already be nervous from all the scumbag things that the guy did. He already's nervous of what's going to happen and who's going to run up on him in physical reality. So he's trying to find other people that do funny little things, but the other guys, they're not realizing, like, the families that got killed already and the people that got killed, it was these guys that killed. It was the guy. Me is different, but it was these guys that killed them, and then did all type of things, and then on top of it, scared about the people who's gonna find out. So they be moving a certain type of way, but they're using the Empress energy, and the Empress is like some type of pimple to the other Empress, because at a time when she's getting sick, this is what's causing her sickness, but she can't pinpoint it because by the time she comes around, remember the guy, she's like a rabbit out the hat, so she pulls out the guy. The guy's like a low cellular activity individual that's just using her magic, and on top of it, he's trying to absorb her magic, but she's like it's like, you ever seen Highlander when he can sense another individual, like something is wrong a certain type of way, and you can feel it on depending on how high your senses is and how high the force is with somebody else. Say like a Jedi, how high the force is with somebody else, but it's minute on the other guy's level. But he's trying to build it to a high level. But he, at the same time, the guy that's drinking the coffee and smoking all day is the one trying to absorb the Empress's power a certain type of way, because he's looking at absorptions of void. So he's trying to void out her situation where he wants the all power for herself. But she wants help a little bit, a certain type of way. But the guy she's thinking that's going to help her, the only one that could have helped her doesn't want to help her because he knows that she's a scumbag and how long she's been doing that scumbag type of situation. So a guy refuses to help her. You know what I'm saying? Because he done lied and done tried to do identity theft and all type of situations. And a man that would say a man like me would actually know, I wouldn't help a stupid bitch like that, because her and the other guy that's doing that should literally get caught for the things that they're doing a certain type of way, right? So a guy says, yo, something, I can't say a man like it comes like certain international security ideas. A person would be able to get caught, but they're trying to prevent that type of situation because the things that they're already doing, and because the fact that the Empress that he's using is causing a vampiristic situation, and she ain't gonna be able to refine because a man like me don't want to refine it. So now she's mad at the world, and then next thing all type of situations happen. So now a man says it's not that that guy reminds me of rags. The guy I'm speaking about would be like reminding me of rags or looking like rags, literally, in a physical reality. And then on top of it, the people he's trying to kill that would know about it would be the dual empresses, because he would have to offend the consciousness of the high intellect to do this one, because he's trying to absorb the other empress, the lady's magic. So what he already did in harmony to other individuals at a time, but he just didn't get to their sequence of time and hanging out with them at certain places, trying to get them at a time, because say if they were secure in certain places at certain time sequences, he's going after them at that time sequence. So he's trying to cause manipulation in other situations. Well, he must have been trying to get other empresses to do the same thing for you to get the rest of them, because he wants to cause identity theft, and then on top of it, he don't want nobody knowing what's going on, because he's thinking about, the guy I'm speaking about is probably the guy that probably tried to bring down the era calendar, because he probably went after their stoneman or stoneman magic or some zombified magic, and then on top of it was fucking up the purity of air and light, and then fucking up the consecration when it comes to men being of honor and honor and honesty, and men of this of real honor that uphold the real honor, and the men that really are educated even down to their etiquette. So the guy, the other guy in the other rooms, he would be a scumbag dude that would be cause the falling of a calendar, but it would have led up to that situation anyway, because he didn't want other people realizing what was going on. Huh? So imagine at a time a certain person trying to do for any type of situations and stuff, right? So then a man says, hey, the other guy, he doesn't have nothing, because say for instance there was like elves or something, or elves or elves. The guy would probably trying to murder elves. He would probably be going after murdering elves and elves, because individuals that committed identity theft in sequences of physics of the physical reality through time, right? So, it's just like the fake guy that used to, back in the days when I had children, he was like my child, but he dishonored his mother so much that he fucked up other people's harmony a certain type of way, and he had to be exposed from the situation so individuals could fix the sequence of their harmony through a certain time period, but he was already mad because he couldn't manipulate the physical to get over on individuals anymore. So he started acting like it was me that started causing problems in the physical reality. And then he started acting like he was me and I was the Zeus. And then he started acting like, so and so. And then people were siding with the guy for pussy. I took a picture of the guy on the other day. He's on my YouTube and stuff. It looks like he's glowing a certain type of way because, my hand was on the camera. But if you see him, he doesn't have the same effect in the physical reality when you look. But you have to see for yourself. But anyway. So then I'm looking at the situation. I'm like, oh, man, and then all of a sudden, the other guy, he's the rabbit out the hat. You remember Playboy Bunny? He's like the LA Playboy. So he's the rabbit out the hat. So every time a guy pull him out, he's he's doing all funny things, but he's manipulating people in the economic system. One time there was, say for instance, that one time the girl took him to go do a commercial because he met some girl that was in the industry. So he goes to do a commercial, and then he shows up in the commercial. He says, You're not even realizing, but you're handcuffed right now. He said he told the girls that you're handcuffed right now, all type of things. But they're thinking that they were really handcuffed in another magical room that he was going to show them. But he was the one that put handcuffs on them because he was planning to rape the little girls and murder the boys. It was like little kids, so he planned to rape and murder the little boys and little girls. But he was trying to tell individuals that ahead of time. So a man says, yo, you know something? They're going to have to realize to get away, the emperors are going to have to realize to help them get away so they don't get raped and murdered by the guy just telling them that he was handcuffed, but he did it on a commercial. So, a man like me, I'm a man of honesty, so I'm not going to let nobody do no funny situations, but I'm not going to endanger my life like what happened before, because when I did that, look what America did. So, because of America's mentality, I'm not doing that anymore. But, think about this sci-fi movie, but real life. But, let me just be real with you. So the girl, she's over here every day, rabbit out the hat, but the guy is over there drinking coffee, smoking cigarettes, coffee, cigarettes. He's a tip because he doesn't want the empress, because if she happens to manifest, he doesn't want her fighting back at the time because he's going to try to overpower. So that's how come he keeps going in and out of her like a pimple or a sickness, because he wants it to imprint her so she'll be weak at a point, because probably something happened on a high level, and then he probably got maneuvered and got over on the energy a certain type of way, and then the energy can't say nothing, because if it does, you gotta remember, it's probably in a harmonical sequence with other energies that's gonna cause a downfall. So that's probably what the energy was going after, because probably on some desperado situation. But because a man would realize the situation, it'd be different for everybody else. So then on top of it, the guy probably trying to find other people that does that, that's endangering other guy life. But what he's doing is like, say the guy, for instance, like the guy that's going like the pimple inside out the girl. He must have did so many things that he probably ended up with other empresses that probably did some other things. They had their own little strong arm, because it's called a strong arm. He probably had their own little strong arm, and then when he thought he was gonna rape the girl, they ended up getting into a physical battle, and then next thing you know, they probably became friends in all type of situations, and certain things happened, and then he probably tried to manipulate other people, but his agenda was trying to, remember, he's going after pussy, raping girls for pussy, like, so he's trying to favor any empress that he get favor to do that for. He was manipulating the situation to get rid of her situation, but also a problem. So it doesn't make no sense, because it's like nothing ever getting fixed. It's like you're seeing a natural spread that will cause the deterioration in the high consciousness to the main astrological empress, or main celestial empress, or celestial empress at the time of that. The deterioration of the inner points of enlightenment that was causing the sickness within the habitation, and then a man that's refining it, you're really seeing and hearing at the time right now that's curing and refining the situation, but other individuals are finding it uneasy to be around individuals, so they're trying to sabotage the comfortability of the social economics because of the democracy mind frame that they have, because they don't know too much and they wanted to know, so they were prolonging it, hoping that the individual never knows, but an individual notice. That shows you the endangerment of the other star beings, because other individuals is complete, that doesn't need that type of situation, that knows how to go about the situation different. Those are the people they're trying to get at, so those are the people they're trying to find. So those are the people that probably most likely caused the deterioration of even the reasons of black anatomy and matter at the time, from individuals doing certain other things. And then, probably something happened. I can explain it, but I don't want to say nothing about certain things a certain type of way. But, if I was saving the Empress life, all I could do, because I'm not in danger. I'm never going to endanger my life a certain type of way for people ever again after what happened to me. So, good luck, whoever can help you. Well, I would suggest they don't do what the other guys, scumbag guys, are doing. They should do something different. But hey, man, you have to figure out, see how it is yourself. But me, I'll speak about another topic because if a person is drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes all day, they're deteriorating their own physical, so that means they're being suicidal. And then on top of it, if there's something saving their life at a time, they're causing the deterioration on an enormous level at another time. So the guy must be, you never know if he has the Empress doing something with a girl a certain type of way, and then every time she's around, he calls her forth, and then, or somebody comes, and then he pulls, she pulls out the girl, then she pulls out the girl out her body, and then the guy be right there and pulls out the guy, and then, she hosts in the body, or all type of Ghostbuster type. I'm the real Constantine, man. Literally, you ever seen the movie Constantine? With Keanu Reeves? I'm the real Constantine, literally. So, think about it. So then, on top of it, so they're having a little sexual pleasure certain type of way, and nobody's really noticing. And then when a guy's going around looking at the social economics and stuff, I'm not gonna scumbag. I'm not gonna go and go open somebody. I said I'm not gonna go open up anybody's door. I ain't no scumbag. I'm different from scumbag. So I'm not gonna go open up anybody's door to go check to see if they're alright with things that happened with people probably a long time ago. So the energy's probably living vicariously through other individuals, a way that's causing a viral disease of their anatomy, and that's the way they cry for help before they die, because they just want somebody to notice the truth about them before certain things happen. So, I don't feel sorry for those type of energies, because they should have never been doing scumbag things like that for guys anyway. That wasn't their real husband, and there's nothing new under the sun, and you can imagine my education was real high. So most likely a person that did that was probably a Black Joe Empress, and then another man doesn't expose the Black Joe Empress magic, showing you that they would have did fucked up things. It's like I met this kid. He has not. He looks like my son. He has, you know, I met him in before even New York, and he's a wonderful guy, real curly haired, he real long curly hair individual. But the individuals been already trying to manipulate him, doing the same thing to him, because the people they're going after is the money, and because they're going after his money, his finances, and his value. So they're already trying to kill him a certain type of way. And the other guy that's doing it doesn't care, because the other guy's telling people he wants to bust the guy, but he came up with an excuse after doing this so long, that he had to. This is the only way he could survive, because he's in so deep with the situation. Not in deep. This was the plan in the beginning, before the situations happened, and then now they're just trying to kill the innocent one, because they realizing his girl looks probably different and better than the situations that they have. And then on top of it, they try. If a person's causing a viral disease, or energy is living vicariously through other people, that means sometimes it might be causing a viral disease, because another person doesn't know the reason of the habitation and the responsibility on an enormous level. So it's just like a person opening a door to. It's just like an empress, a celestial or celestial empress, celestial or astrological empress sick. She has so many planets in her that when a person opens the door, is beyond the sickness of beyond dark matter, the sickness that's beyond enormous on the level. So it's like an overflowing reality of torment and all type of situations that a person can't live through. That they have to be on a high level to live through it, and if a person not on a high level, they can't live through it. So there probably is a man that's around that that can handle it, but is not going to, because of the individual's consciousness of things that happen already. And then on top of it, then you have the energies that's already mad because of the situation, and they know the reality. And then because a man doesn't want to do certain things to them, they're already mad. So the things that they're doing, because it's like the misery. You ever heard the saying? The movie about when I was Edgar Casey, but the movie when it came out with Bruce Willis, when I had to use Bruce Willis when they tried to burn down my hospital, when I was Edgar Casey and they tried to burn down my house when I was Garnet Silk. I'm the real Garnet Silk. So they tried to burn down my house, and they tried to burn down my hospital when I was Edgar Casey. So I stopped doing certain things, because they were going after there was a drug epidemic. People were getting sick. The hippies era and all type in the 60s and 70s. All type of situations were happening. So I had to leave, and then they tried to kill my son. And then on top of it, they were going after my children. And then my children was in the industry at the time trying to recover in their life. And they, my children, I'm the real, my children are the Beatles. So my little son. So a lot of things were happening a certain type of way. And other artists and other actors were my children at the time. So another person didn't know how serious my situation was. And then all type of situations happened. But yeah, I'm not saying nothing about it now, right? But the year of the reflection, the year of 2018, the year you should know. So it's snowing outside. Um, I'm not a guy that's gonna go break into people's house or check on people because I own the land. Nah, fuck that because the mentality of other individuals probably want to trap me in a situation. I'm not gonna be a stupidity like the other individuals, a scumbag individual. So whatever happens to the other people that did that, good for them. Too bad, ha ha ha. But hey, funny scene, funny scenario, right? It would be a wonderful sci-fi movie, or would it, right?